This is Tommy and this is Matt. They own and run Campworks, and this is a Campworks NS-1 behind us. In my opinion, if you're in the market for a teardrop, this is the best one you can buy. And I'm partial because I love these guys, but it's also like actually the best thing you can buy.
Oh, thank you, sir. Well, hello. Thank you for a nice intro there, Baron. My name is Thomas and this is the NS-1. We're excited to show you guys this. It is a fully electric adventure trailer. The NS-1 started as a 2017 kind of high school, college project, I guess, of what nomadic life would look like and all the things that we need to be our best self anywhere in the world. And it's been years and years. We started Campworks in 2019. It's been a long journey to build something that just works for any person, any place to go and live where you are and enjoy the places that you are and enjoy the people you're with. So that's been our goal. The NS-1 here going into, I guess, the big core component, the composite body. We use a one-piece unibody composite built down in Lamar, Colorado. The entire NS-1 is assembled down in Lamar, Colorado, and we're really proud of that. So the Raptor line exterior, the one-piece shell, that adds a lot of strength to the body. All our windows and doors are all built into the composite shell. Fully electric for us started off as just trying to give us an induction stovetop in the off-grid. So we were just initially building this with a Renogy 3000 watt inverter, and we were putting a little induction stovetop $200 model off of Amazon in this thing, and we started to realize the performance and the longevity of both of those two systems. And then you also want to do other things. So if your induction stovetop is on, we want to be able to power other devices. So give us hot water on demand or have the air conditioning running and the heater running depending on what's going on. You don't want to say, hey, turn off the heat inside as I come out here and cook. So we were sensitive of that early. And then the convenience and the packability. So in the NS-1 kitchen, we wanted to create as much horizontal space as we possibly could and great work surfaces. So we have our solid wood countertops here, our little serving bar or cocktail hour bar up here, and then all your gear storage is tucked in above so you can get anything you need here. You got 6 outlets in the rear of the kitchen so you can plug in any of your appliances.
Where are we looking there?
That's all just tucked up behind. Okay. So you've got your 6 outlets back in the interior kind of enclosed space. You can plug in your different appliances as needed. And then we have our induction stovetop. So when you're cooking, and the nice piece about induction, as soon as you pull the pan off, the surface ends up cool. So that allows us to utilize the whole work surface as needed for servicing a bike or doing anything like that, sitting, working remote, off grid. So the kitchen design now was focused on, again, as much horizontal space as we can. So the 9 feet horizontal kitchen space and a Kenyon cooktop, which offers us 3,500 watts, 240 volts, and just instant cooking power right there. Like boil water on a dime. We got a little bit of wind today and a propane stove. You'd be dealing with that blowing out. So just important for us to integrate the induction stovetop first and foremost, but then build a great kitchen where everything's organized and everything's in its place and it packs down nice and easy. Sets up easy, so if you need to pull off on the side of the road and cook yourself up a meal, the kitchen is prepared to do that. So that's where we settled on NS-1 kitchen. We are excited to see what everybody's cooking up with that. As we come around, our plumbing and HVAC system, so we have a fresh air intake that comes through a filtered box, so you can kind of see what that is here. Interior, you got fans that duct to our electrical compartment, keep that whole space ventilated properly, and then the interior cabin, if you got wildfire smoke, pollen season is out, something like that, and you're sensitive to those types of things, being able to go inside the NS-1, turn on the fan, and get filtered air. So that here, and then on the other side we have our exhaust system and a heater and induction. We have a heater, resistive heater inside, and a full undermount AC system.
So no propane?
No propane, yeah. No propane. NS-1 is completely powered by the solar that you bring along, and then you can charge it at your house as you go, keep it in a garage, obviously campgrounds and things like that as they have their infrastructure too, but that means that you don't have to go, you're not refilling propane. You just unplug, your cooler is going to be running too, so all of the different conveniences of that. You're not grabbing ice, you're not grabbing propane. So we use an aqua water system here, and this guy, the nice piece about it is we have our water pump off. You have your shut-off valve here, and you can remove this faucet, and that keeps it frost-proof back behind, and that keeps us, clean on the outside and tidy. This is limited to 110 degrees, so we use an on-demand hot water heater that's 7,200 watts, and we'll talk more about the electrical system that powers the whole NS1, but we got a 7,200 watt, 240 volt hot water heater. Inline hot water heater, yeah.
So no tank, right?
Tankless. Yeah, tankless on-demand electric hot water, limited to 110 degrees. So if you're in a hot day where your water tank is warmer, then you're able to get to the 110 degree and it'll stop, so you get like a nice warm shower, a nice warm, rinse your hands or washing off dishes, but it won't burn you, and you're also not using extra electricity to bring that temperature up to 120 or whatever and then mixing it with cold water to just bring it back down. So we found the most optimal situation there, utilizing the most power. We have about 70 degrees temperature raise, so your water could be all the way down to 40, so just above your freezing point there, and we could give you still the on-demand hot water. So that piece ended up just drawing so much electricity to be able to do it. Really proud of that. Also with a 3-stage water filter inline, so you have filtered water. When your water heater's off, you just get cool, nice filtered water. So there's that. Next here on the NS1, talking about the suspension, the BF Goodrich tires, of course. We want to make sure you have good grip when you're on an off-camber surface, so that's one of the important reasons for this. You also can use your rear brake controller in off-road, driving situations. So having good grip on those tires helps with your braking. It helps with you getting off-camber and sliding around. It doesn't pull your car around as much with the KO2. And then you also get good sidewall protection. So when you're on a narrow trail, you're not getting a tire that's going to be it has no puncture resistance on your sidewalls. So we don't want to strand people, so we want to use a great tire.
And then today, you can air down and you have enough meat on the tire where it can suck up some of the bumps too.
Yeah, exactly. Being able to air down. If you don't go a big enough tire and you go more of like a road style, then when you get to a spot like this, all your stuff inside gets bumping around even worse too, and that's not good for the longevity of the product. Beyond the tire and wheel combo, we use, I guess we should talk about that wheel. We use the Nomad wheels and have a few options on our top trim package on the Electrified Pro. So we do any of the Nomad wheels you want. Nomad wheels on the Pneumatic System 1 felt like a great fit. Underneath, you can see probably in here our Timbren suspension, and we underplate the entire body of the trailer. So you've got the Timbren suspension. Pardon our duct taped wires up there. If you're checking this out and watching us here, we broke a zip tie today, and so we're gonna go back and run that across. Okay, if we can't see it, then cut that audio out of there, and just don't focus on it. Yeah.
And it's plated underneath?
The entire NS1 underbody is plated, so you can drag it if you're in a situation where you had to, and that also helps with the insulation from the bottom and protecting components that are sitting in the bottom, so your electrical compartment is down bottom of the trailer, wanting to protect that.
And why Timbren? Why the independent suspension?
Independence, yeah, less risk of hang up obviously versus a traditional axle. The torsion axles, those are just like a wound spring. So when you actually get the ability, you can have those release and break. So just durability and longevity on those components. So the Timbren for us gives that good balance, a good ride, good off-road capability, softening everything on the interior. And beyond that, on the NS1 trailer, we have the underplated and we have the step slides here that are integrated. This is so that we can push yourself around any rocks or obstructions on the trail, and what that'll do is protect our composite body for the long haul. If you are going to take damage, we'd rather it be in something that you could just respray paint, and we just do our best to protect this body. If we don't do any damage to this, we got a 30-year warranty on the NS1 composite shell. So building a great trailer that allows it to be protected for a lifetime is kind of best of both worlds. And then furthering the conversations on the trailer itself, we got the arc jack up top here on the front tongue, so you can move this thing, get the campsite position perfectly where the windows are facing towards your sunrise, things like that, and just making sure that you can park it in the garage as well just as easily. This thing has been quite nice. We have our tow chains and our lock and roll hitch up on the tongue, and that gives you 360-degree articulation. So you have 3 different components that are pivoting at least 270 degrees and keeping you attached. If you had something roll over, I think you'd still be attached on the tongue. The exterior features the NS1 Electrified Pro. We've got our Dometic CFX DZ down here, so you got your refrigerator and your freezer. You can keep all your food cool, quickly grab a drink when you're on the trail, cook up a good snack, good access to that, not grabbing ice. Up on the top here, we do a front runner platform. We have our front runner table. As easy as popping this off, and you pull out a full table as well. So when you partner that with the 9 feet of kitchen countertop space, you have your kitchen table. As soon as you get there, it's everything you need to feel at home wherever you are. Starlink integrates into the NS1 Electrified Pro. We can power that through our own 24-volt system, which removes the need to run an inverter to power your Starlink. So excited to show you guys a bit more about that. But Starlink integration, yeah, isn't that nice? Because that drains, the Starlink can drain so much power, and having your inverter on, nice dog, having your inverter on just to power your Starlink is kind of our like worst case scenario. So being able to switch that over to the 24-volt system, powering it on the NS1, this allows you then, when you talk about the inside in a second here, you can work remote, all the connectivity, all the features of having internet anywhere, and grateful for this invention and what it is. But it really changed it when you start to think about the space that you get to come into and work on. So we'll talk about that in a second. But Starlink integrated up on the rack. We have exterior lighting on the rack. We have an exterior lighting down underneath. So this is what we call our step lighting. Really good for when you're getting up in the middle of the night. You don't want to disturb the campground around you. So being able to turn on our step lights and put those just down to the ground, minimalist, hopefully not obtrusive. And then the rack lights, if somebody is walking through your site or you got wildlife or animals coming, you can turn on the exterior lighting. Bushco awning on this. We may be moving around. There's a bunch of 270 awnings on the market right now, and we're just trying to do our best to find the best product. Bushco has been great and reliable for us. We're seeing some products that have integrated lighting, but every NS1 Electrified Pro is coming with an exterior 270 awning, the best that we think is doing it at the time. So that's our focus there. Give you the good shade all the way around the NS1. Onto the NS1 interior, something we haven't shown historically a lot here. Izzy's gonna wanna get up there. Not right now, I know it is comfy for dogs, it's comfy for anybody. Things that we've worked on here with the NS1 interior, solid wood cabinets. You're in a small space, it's really important that we have it be a beautiful space. So the cabinet quality really matters to us. We wanna make things that honor the person who's making it, honor the maker, honor the craftsperson. So we have Mortise and tenon joinery here on the ends, lights inside to the cabinets, maple interiors, walnut exteriors, push button latches holding everything shut. So we wanted to give you that quality when you're in this space. It adds a warmth to it. Beyond the warmth of the cabinets, we have EZO board, which is an acoustic insulation panel, and then we have 1.5 inches of insulation behind that as well. And what that gives you is just a really well insulated space. The EZO board is made out of recycled polyester or recycled water bottles, and so that material allows us to divert waste and build something that gives you a very nice sensory experience, something you kind of got to sit inside an NS1 to experience and know, but soft to the touch.
And it's an acoustic panel. Did you say that?
Yeah, acoustic. So performance of sound, like sound quality inside of this is extraordinary. You have things like keeps the wind noise down at camp. It also is going to improve, like if somebody else is out staying out and they're making noise, you get to hop inside and still get a good night's rest. So just letting people kind of live the way they want to live and enjoy life, but also, a bear comes through camp, you probably just want to sleep through the night and like let it pass through anyway. So having those types of things. The acoustic performance also just makes your music sound nice when you're listening to a speaker inside or recording audio if you're doing vlogging or anything like that too. So the acoustic performance is really great. Beyond that, you have the acoustics, the solid wood cabinets, you have the storage space underneath. So we've got an additional 9 cubic feet of storage underneath here between the mattress, or underneath the mattress and the skid plates down below, and in between our battery compartment and our water tank up in the front. So battery, which we will talk about in a second here, is stored underneath the foot of the bed, and your water tank is up here underneath the headboard. So
like this area.
Yeah, underneath up there. I think other things about the interior, and it's just, again, we have never really shown the interior because it's hard to capture where things are and how it feels when you're laying in bed though, and you need to grab a USB to charge a phone, or you want to plug in your camera gear and keep that going. We have USB outlets that have USB-C connectivity and can charge laptops. So 100-watt output. So those are actually able to charge your laptops, just USB-C to USB-C. And again, you don't need to turn on your inverter just to charge appliances like that. So little details like that. Things like our reading lights over in the corner here, which give you the ability to sit down here and enjoy a book sitting inside. We have full heating and air conditioning inside as well. So we talked about that on the HVAC side, but you can sit this inside. You can go to our touchscreen over there and you can set the temperature, and you can enjoy 70-degree temperature in a really wide range of outside exterior temperatures. So maintaining that significant temperature delta comes down to good insulation, the resistive heater, and the air conditioning all coupled together.
What is the insulation?
Total R value of the insulation is R11. In our lowest point, our average point is probably just a little bit above that. And then the double pane glass still air has an R value of about R4, and we're at about 3 inches on that. So about R12 in our doors. So that keeps you nice and warm and gives you the ability, which we love, is when you're sitting in bed, the dip down on the door. And when we designed this specifically, it was so that you could have, from your pillow waking up in the morning, you could look directly through the door out, which just, we didn't want to be looking, we're out there to see this beautiful spot. So being tucked away inside of a rooftop tent or something like that, we have to fully zip it for it to be insulative and weatherproof. The polycarbonate here that we use on the doors allows for all of that to happen. So what's next? Electrical system. I think electrical system. All right, so swinging around to the NS-1 electrical system. All of the different appliances, so all your DC appliances, your lights, kitchen lights, USBs, exterior lights, your Starlink, your refrigerator, all of the goodies that we have are all electric. Nothing's powered off of propane. Nothing's powered off of diesel. You can run your car. Alternator can charge back the NS-1 if you're in an off-grid situation and you've got an internal combustion engine. If you've got an EV, it can partner, and our NS-1 can output level 2 charging back to that EV. You can use your solar, dump back into your EV battery, take your EV battery, use it with the NS-1, run into town, charge up the vehicle, come back, have your campsite fully re-energized in the full electric realm. And when you're in the hybrid capacity world there, or the hybrid world, and you're working with that, what you have the ability to do there is basically double the NS-1 battery bank, and most hybrids will have a second battery bank that's like the complementary to it, and then you have kind of the best of both worlds on that. So expanding your battery capacity and giving you a bigger kilowatt hour storage, and then giving you the engine, you can run that, charge things back. And so there's a really cool integration. We'll talk more about the integration between NS-1 and vehicle in a different video. So
to go over the electrical specs real quickly of the NS-1, that's really a lot of what it comes down to. So on battery capacity, NS-1 Electrified Pro, 12 kilowatt hours of battery. As far as AC output goes, running two 4,500 watt inverters, so a total of 9,000 watts of output. And then solar charging. So solar charging here split into a couple different things. So one, we have an onboard 250 watt Nishadi solar panel. And then we have a couple of inputs. So we have this input pairs with the onboard panel, and we can input a total of 600 watts of additional solar here. So these panels combined for a total of 600. And then we have this port right here that allows for an additional 1,800 watts of solar capacity. So between these two, you're looking at 2,400 watts of solar. So that's 2,400 watts per hour of solar capacity going into those 12 kilowatt hour batteries. We have our Starlink integration here. So the Starlink ties in there and runs, and as Tommy mentioned, runs off of DC instead of AC, so we don't have to run those inverters. We have our shore power inlet. Allows us to hook up to any 120 volt source and charge. So if you are at a campground or a hotel or anything and you want to charge while you're there, you can. And then we have 240 watt output. So this allows, if you are running a plug-in hybrid or EV, you can run a Type 2 charger off here.
240 volt.
240 volt, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Not watt.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's right,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so.
240 volt outlet. So we can plug in a Type 2 charger here, charge your EV or your plug-in hybrid if you want. Or if you're out here, running power tools or anything like that, plenty of juice. And that's in addition to all the 120 volt outlets throughout the rest of the bay. And that really sort of ties up the electrical system. One thing to note that I forgot on the inlet, this is globally capable. So whether you're European 50 hertz or US 60 hertz, the charger can handle it. So feel free to take this thing down to South America or over to Europe and have some fun. So.
Cool.